Woo. All right. Let's get this. I haven't streamed in so long. There we go. I am live. Yeah. I figured why not make a video considering I'm already I'm off the clock already. So yeah, and I guess I just wanted to talk about the pros and the cons for working for the post office. Um, and knowing me, I've been in the post office for like on and off. I think like almost a year or two, roughly. I'll just say that max. Um, but yeah, just off the clock right now. I already swiped in tour. Just waiting for my coworker right now. Gonna what do you call it? I don't even know what we're gonna do later. We'll just eat food or something. But yeah, I figured this is like a good idea to like talk about. I guess. Damn, the lighting is bad. But yeah. Let's see. How can I sum this up? Because I'm more of like the raw footage vlogger than anything. Um, we could talk about the pros and the cons later. So I think pros would be good for now, and then I'll break down the cons, the reality of working at the post office. Start with the pros. Number one, pro number one. Uh, I'd say it's a steady paycheck for the most part. You always, well, if you're a full time regular, you're always guaranteed 40 hours a week, which is what I am. Uh, and depending on the station really that you work in, it could it changes all the time, every single day. um, Whatever your shift might be, it could be 6 in the morning, it could be 8 in the morning, it could be 9 in the morning. Depends really on the office. Every office is obviously different, so I just base it off mine. Normally it's 8 o'clock in the morning to start for me, and then I usually end up clocking out at what is it, 8:30, or what is it? What's 8 hours? I don't even know. Because normally I usually work 10 a day or 12. Because you can get maxed at 12 a day, and after 12 you don't have to continue working more. Um, but yeah, I remember watching JH on YouTube, and he was talking a lot about the post office and stuff like that. So I was like thinking like, on my free time, like why not just make it right now? Because I already know I'm gonna get really tired when I get back to the hotel. Um, but yeah, that's one pro of working for the post office. You get a set schedule. You get 2 days off. You can't get mandated for the sixth day though. So you could be working Monday to Friday, but Saturday you might end up being mandated to work that day. So it is what it is. Um, Pro, I'd say, is the money. Another one. Number two would be the money. Uh, Starting out, you make like 20. Well, if you're a clerk like me, they start clerks right now at 25.70. I know we're getting a pay raise in like a couple days. Or I think it's tomorrow, or like I think 3 more days. We get a pay raise. And it's like it's not that much, but I mean, every cent counts for the most part. But because I converted, I don't make 25.70 anymore. I make 24.61 currently, and then I'll make 24.71 in like a few days. So I technically lost $1, but it's okay. It pays the bills and everything. So it's just a chill. Well, at least for me, it's a good environment from my end so far. Um, so money is a good thing. The best part about it being in the post office is you work your normal 8 hours, you get your base pay. So, your base salary, I mean, base hourly. And then after when you hit 8 hours all the way to 10 hours, you get time and a half. So, your overtime, 1.5 times the amount of your uh, base. So, well, unless even if you're a part-time flexible, which is what I was before, you actually make 1.5 times the amount of a full-time regular salary, not your 25.70 when you started off. So technically you would make 38 something, but because it's going by a different pay, it's going by the regular pay, so it's like 36, I believe. Um, and then what else? And then you hit your double time after 10 hours. You hit double time. Um, so you make, well, me, it's like before it was like 49. I think now it's like what, 48? No, 46, 47. I don't know, around that range. I wouldn't know until I see my pay stub, but yeah, that's the weird thing. So that's another pro. That's number two for the pro working for the post office. Pro number three, I'd say, would be coworkers. This is, it's kind of like half and half, considering you're working with a very diverse amount of set of people every single day. Maybe your office is different. You could be moved to another office, so you could be working for others as well. I mean, for the most part, majority of the coworkers that I work with are pretty laid back, uh, but you'll always have, your Karens, but just don't pay no attention to them. Don't pay no mind to it. Just do you, do what you're supposed to be doing, like, and then you'll be fine, pretty much. So coworkers would be a good thing. Um, another, so that was the third pro. I think the fourth pro, and this is dependent upon office location. So I would say, um, what is it? I would definitely say in regard, uh, what is the word? I mean the office. Yeah, it depends on the office really. It will either make or break, I guess, you overall. But the office I'm working in currently, it's really nice. A lot of the people are like 99% of them are very nice. So it's, it keeps the day going by quicker. Um, and the transactions are a lot just, easy once you start out. It's a lot to take in, but then once you keep doing it, you'll get adjusted very easily, like how I was. So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. So my position, I'm a full-time regular, working for the post office as a sales slash SVCS distribution associate. It's pretty much a window clerk with the side of, working in the back, I guess. So I pretty much set up the front, making sure like all the, what do you call it? Supplies are stocked and everything. Um, Helping customers regarding with their mailing procedures or package pickups and excess, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, that was the other pro. I think that was the fourth pro. So yeah, it depends on the office really. Like the customers can make it or break it depending on how you are, and if you're a very emotional person, uh, I wouldn't recommend being a window clerk. I would say you need a little bit more of thick skin dealing with the customers overall. Um, so yeah, that's a con. I mean, a con. It's a pro really and a con at the same time. Um, the fifth pro I can think of is, let's see, obtaining annual leave and sick leave is a great thing, I'd say, about the post office. Because if you are any entry level, from what I know, like CCA, which is what I did before, PSC, MHA, ARC, uh, so wait, CCA, PSC, ARC, MHA, and RCA, which is like the entry level positions. So you got like, you know, rural carrier assistant, mail handler assistant, city carrier assistant, um, postal support employee, and assistant rural carrier. So you got all those entry level positions, but man, I lose my train of thought. But that would be one of my pros, I'd say, regarding sick leave and annual, because those other positions that I just mentioned, they don't get that. They don't. Well, they get annual, but they don't get sick leave. So, or sick time, pretty much. So that's a pro. Another pro I could think of, the sixth or fifth pro, I believe, would be your thrift savings plan. So TSP for short. You get a retirement in the post office, like a what do you call it? Yeah, it's pretty much for your retirement. TSP, thrift savings plan. I also got it when I was in the military, so it's very very useful. Um, Depending on what fund you want to put it into, you got G fund, S fund, L fund, C fund. All these different funds, and it depends really how risky you want to go. Because I know G fund is the most securest, and I think most of mine is in C from what I saw before. I know I put a good amount in G when I was still in, but it didn't really grow that much. It was really small percent. Like it mostly stayed the same. It didn't really like go anywhere at all. Um, what else can I say? Another pro, um, money and retirement and sick time and annual time or annual leave. Um, I guess the food, depending on the location for you. Um, it could be great location and there's food around you close by, depending on the office. Um, I mean, those are the only things that I can think of right now that could be pros. Uh, and then now, what else can I think of a pro? I think that's it so far that I can summarize in the top of my head right now. But let's go into the cons of working for the post office. First con, I'd say would be uh, your a lot of your time in the post office when you work for the post office is pretty limited. You usually get maybe one day off, if even. Even me, as a full-time regular, I can be mandated for the 6th day. However, if I go over 60 hours already for that, if I already have 60 hours for the 5th day, or yeah, or that, then I don't have to, I think, continue working longer than that. But to each his or her own, pretty much. That's just my reasoning for it. Let's see. Yeah, you're a lot of the time that you work in the post office, really, it's just with them. Really, you're just working every single day, and you take your normal breaks, you take your lunch, and all that, and a lot of the time, because every day it's always different, whether it be packages or customers or yada yada yada. It's I guess it's one downside because you don't really have as much time to yourself as you would have if you worked other positions in other uh, job placements and other jobs. Like for example, when I used to work for Amazon, we get paid weekly in Amazon, but in the post office, because it's federal, you get paid every 2 weeks, so bi-weekly. That would be a con too. I guess I could add that to the second one. Um, but yeah, you're a lot of the time working in the post office is really with the post office. A lot of mail, a lot of packages, like Amazon and all of that. Even packages coming from UPS, FedEx, DHL. Um, that'd be a con. Just pretty much a lot of the incoming stuff, and um, I mean, I do both. I like do multiple sides. Like I do the front. I like help out the customers. I deal with that. I also do the back. So sorting everything, flats, letters, uh, parcels overall. Um, yeah, that'd be a con. Yeah, that'd be one. So that the first one would be like the time in the post office. Really, like you give a lot of your time in the post office. Every day it's kind of just like routine, and you get used to it. But you really never get used to it. You just, you gotta pay the bills. Second con I can think of would be the paycheck frequency. Um, I know every 2 weeks is normal. I know it's way worse in the state because my girlfriend works for the state and she gets paid once a month. Like that sucks. I can't imagine working and just waiting for the next month and the next month of the first. But usually so far it's been every 2 weeks. So the cons also for this whole pay period thing is really weird. When you work in the post office, your pay period starts on Saturday and it ends on Friday. So it's the weird thing because I'm used to like Sunday to Saturday, that one week. But in the post office, they go by Saturday to Friday, and then Friday the pay period closes, and then a new pay period starts. and you'll see it on your light blue when you work for the post office. So that would be a con. The pay period thing is weird. Uh, it's pretty much like every other Friday you get a paycheck. But if you sign up for like other bank institutions, like for example, I have Capital One and my military bank. It's ironic because my Capital One account, I get my money 2 days in advance rather than my military bank, which is like usually a day before or the day of the day it's supposed to get there. So when you sign up for a direct deposit, at least. So I usually get my paychecks like every Wednesday for the most part, every other week. So the next paycheck next week is gonna be paid on Wednesday. So yeah, and then this pay period just ended today. So I hit like 50 hours or 60 hours. I don't remember. The normal usual hourly hours I worked a week usually is like 70 to 90. It really depends. But now that I'm a full-time regular, I don't have that same hours as I used to work. So, it is what it is. Like the only time like you actually get real good hours is December, the month that's super busy. Oh yeah, that's a con too. I'd say con number three would be December because as a clerk for the APWU, um, you don't get double time because of that whole month of December. So December 1st all the way to 31st, no matter how many hours you work, you'll just get that regular overtime hours. If you already cap after the 40, it's just regular double time. I mean, double time, time and a half. So you're just getting, no matter how many hours you work, fucking, you can work 12 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, and you're only getting time and a half. You're not making the extra double the amount. So it's like, paycheck's a paycheck at the end of the day. But I think I remember I worked when I was a PTF at the time. I think I worked like one of the weeks I worked 96 or almost like 99 hours, I think. And the next week after that I worked maybe like 70 to 80. And the paycheck, when it's like gross, it's big, but then after taxes you lose like 30% of it. So you're really only making like not that much. I think I took home like at the time that was like 3,500 or 3,400 at the time for those 2 weeks. I made that. That's during peak, so that's like a lot of hours. After peak season though, it still slows down slightly. I mean, I'm still working a good amount of hours, but it depends really. It just depends. Um, what else? So that's another con. The whole month of December you don't get double time. I guess it's the contract. I don't really know. I just know that whenever I saw my pay stub, it was just like all overtime, no double time. So, yeah. Let's see. Another con I can think of is dealing with Karens. I'd say some of the customers you'll be dealing with a lot of Karens sometimes, depending on the office. Um, I don't have that many. Uh, Maybe like one or two, but it really depends on the day. Every day is different. Um, like for the most part, a lot of the customers that I deal with are really nice. So it keeps my mood up rather than down. And they check on me, and they buy me food, and I'm really really appreciative of that. Um, and all that. Let's see, another con I could think of working for the post office. Swipe badges. Super OG. Working for the PO, you get a swipe badge. I can show it on my thingy stream. So what the hell? So this is your swipe badge. Well, when you swipe in, go to like clock in for work, clock out for work. I know they're changing the thing now for my office at least, or I think in April, we're gonna be using the blue scanners to scan, clock in, begin tour, out lunch, end tour. It's like so weird. But most offices, you'll see this right here. It's pretty much a machine where you swipe your badge to clock in and clock out. Super OG, guys. I know, PO is super old, but we still use them. The last time I used a swipe badge to clock in for work was like, I want to say UPS, because my first job I had my actual first job was UPS, and that was when I was like 18, and we had a swipe badge, and it was never accurate, and I felt like I mean, I got screwed over one, I think during like the peak season, and it took like 2 3 months just for the steward to get my money back, and it's just so stupid. And we get paid weekly, by the way, at UPS, so that was great. Like every Thursday I get paid, so that was nice. But when you go federal in the post office, it's every 2 weeks, so that's unfortunate. um what else? Another con, I guess like pay in a sense is a con too, because not just the pay periods, but you know, I mean, I know in the federal sector is like you gotta negotiate. They negotiate it for the pay, and it's just like a couple cents. But the way I see it, like every cent matters. But depending on like where you're living and where you're working, I think they should really bump the pay up for everything to suffice. Because like in the station I'm working at now, it's like yeah, with the money that I make now, it's not doable to live here and like work. But luckily, I mean, I work in a different station, but the main station that I'm working in is like 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away. But this is like a detail station. So, yeah, I guess like I think if it was gonna be like decent pay wise, I think they should just bump it up to like 30 something, 30, I guess 33, 34, 35 ish, just for it to suffice really. So like you can make good money and live and eat and all that, just your basic common needs. um what else? Because usually every 2 weeks I usually get at least 2K, but it like the highest month I've hit was like maybe 4K ish on like one check every 2 weeks. So I mean it depends really, like how much you work and all that. So let's see, one other con I could think of. Amazon. Amazon is really like the bummer, I'd say, of like majority of post offices. I would assume so. Just because I think this is just my understanding, but I know Amazon is contracted with the post office, and we get a lot of stuff, and we are the cheapest service out of all the damn companies, from like UPS and FedEx and DHL and OnTrack and all that other stuff. So I mean, we have mail, so very much different. But yeah, I think I saw like a post on like the scanners. It would show like random. The blue scanners would show like random, or the clerk scanners would show, or carrier scanners. I mean, the small ones. They would show like updates from like the regional, like saying like, oh, USPS generated like $79 billion in an increase of like 1.9% in the year. It's like, okay, but where's that money isn't going to like any new equipment. Like right now, there's old, super old HP computer behind me that you guys don't see. It's like probably like 2005 or something, like that, or earlier than that. I don't know. I haven't seen these in like so long. And the monitor, it's like a 1990 monitor. I don't know. But yeah, um, that's another con. What else can I think of? Time. If you have a girlfriend, a wife, a boyfriend, and they're not understanding of your schedule, trust me, it's hard. Like, not for me, but for most. Like, some people can't really like deal with the scheduling of the post office. So, you let me sit up because it's weird just not sitting right. There we go. Now I can sit normal because I had to like scrouch a bit. But yeah, like the scheduling is always off, you know, for others, not for full-time regulars. But that's one I'd say regarding time frames. And if you have a significant other, try to work it out, your time schedules, trying to see each other. What do you call it? Making plans. If you have even a family, I can't imagine that, because, everyone's life is different. How they handle everything is their business and all that. But from what I see, a lot of the times it's like somewhat of a struggle here and there, regarding like appointments for their kids or something, or taking them to school, blah 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 blah, all the mixed things. But yeah, it doesn't really pertain to me, but I could see it from like other coworkers before. Let's see, what else is our con I can think of? I think it's like what, con number 5 now or 4? I don't remember, or 6. I don't know. I'm just gonna list the con really, if I can think of it. But so far, the ones I've listed is would be like the cons of the post office. Um, let's see. What is the word? Um, oh, this is one con that I think is really like annoying the most. So when you are a career employee, within the 12 to 18 months that I know, if you're in a station and you want to transfer out, it takes that long exactly. And also your attendance has to be like pretty much spot on perfect for you to even transfer, because they look for attendance the most. It's like the biggest thing in the post office. Um, and I don't even know about my track record when it comes to the post office, but what do you call it? Just try to be on point with your clock ins and all that, and going to work and stuff like that. Because it's very like super anal. Just make sure you're on time. Don't obviously skip whatever. Call out too much. It's kind of a given. You're pretty much frowned upon. But if you gotta do, you gotta do it. What else? I'm trying to think a lot of other things I can think of for the cons, because everybody has their own niche. Let me see. All right. What else can I think of right now? While the vlog is still going, the live stream. I've been usually live streaming nowadays. I don't even like actually make a vlog, like with the camera and all. I just use my phone right now. It's the iPhone 13 mini to record this. I don't even know if the audio is gonna be good or not, but luckily there's no music, so I don't get no copyright. But yeah, that's like another con I can think of. What else? I'm trying to think of a lot more cons. It's like more cons than pros. But mm, I this is what do you call it? What is the word? Controversial is the word, I believe. But I would say the con would be management. Depending on who you're under and who's running the show and stuff like that, like things can go south real quick, or it could go great and like very organized. It just depends on the person that's really like running it, and that's really like how it comes down to. Like if your boss or manager is like very relaxed or like great with like everything and helps out and all that, and then everything's gonna go smooth. But if they're not really even helping you, they're not like trying to help you or anything like that, then obviously it's gonna be like in a very chaotic, toxic environment. And I feel like every post office majority has at least one, so, or has one instance with it, because I've worked for like a couple offices, and I see the leadership and the toxicity and all that stuff, and you see it. The minute you walk in, you already know it. You feel that aura. You're just like, what the hell is this? You know what I hate about me on camera sometimes is like this damn bald spot. See that? It's so annoying. Like I gotta just shave this off, because it looks so weird when I look at myself on the camera now. Because I'm just like, dude, look at that spot. It's just so bald. It's like weird. I don't know, but yeah, that's just been bothering me. I'm just like, come on, man, look at that weird. We gotta shave this off. Like, jeez. Nah. Anyway, that's a con. Working for the PO. What else? Um, Nothing really else pops up to my head. I think that's all for now that I can think of from working for the post office. Because I used to work different other positions. I was a PSE, postal support employee. I was a CCA, city carrier assistant. I never was a rural carrier, which is a RCA. I was never a mail handler, an MHA. I was technically an ARC assistant rural, but it was weird because on my profile it says I've worked for them for like almost a couple months, like 3 or 4. but I never started that job. It was like I took the job and I didn't really get any like continuation email that I remember to like meet up for orientation or stuff like that. So it was just kind of like weird. And it was in the Bay Area, so I was just like, oh, well, I guess the people aren't communicating well enough because it took 3 months for them to remove me from the system because it still shows on my account like, oh, this is, well, your unofficial USPS record on Hero, which is like an app in Light Blue, and Light Blue is a program for all USPS employees to check their pay stubs, input your direct deposit form, blah 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 blah, and your insurances and stuff like that. So um, that's another key factor into it. And yeah, I just thought of those so far on the spot. Not much, too much thought into it, but I just thought of those so far for the time being. Not bad for 31 minutes, really. But yeah, I think it's a good talk so far. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Um, just to see like how, I mean, you don't really see like what my day-to-day life looks like because it's like I can't. I don't think I can even do that while I'm working. So I don't even know. But I'm off the clock, so it's like I guess this is okay. I don't know. But yeah, just hopefully this kind of gives you guys insight for the ones who are gonna work for the post office, that are working for doing window clerk side, that I know, because that's what I know, and all the other ones. And if you're wondering too, like what do you call it? Um, why am I wearing normal clothes? I don't have my uniform allowance yet, so I'm just waiting for that so then I can actually get the allowance part. So yeah, and he's gonna suck because I'm gonna take my beanie off and I'm balding so bad now, guys. You guys have no idea. Like my hairline is like all the way back up here. It used to be down here, and now it's like way up here. So yeah, might as well just I always shave my head, but it's not like up to par right now. So I mean, I have hair, it's not a lot, and I've been seeing a lot of white hairs lately. So it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. What can you do? But yeah, that's pretty much the video, the pros and cons so far of me working as a USPS worker. I think, well, this position I've only been in working for, let's see, March, uh, March, so like 3 months and like a couple days, almost a week. So it's not too long, but it's been pretty chill so far. It's up and down. Every day is up and down. You don't really know, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video I make. So comment, rate, subscribe, favorite the video, share with your friends, give the video a like, check out my links down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notified. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.